You already know what this show about. We finna get high and we finna talk some shit, man. For all your camera needs, holla at OjDidIt, Orange County. Go follow them, subscribe to the YouTube page, all that. What's good, man? This your Will Caddy Chris, man. We in here for 7 questions in the session, episode 3. We appreciate everybody checking in. Today I got a special guest, my dog Nitti in here, man.
What it do? What it do?
Man, you already know what this show about. We finna get high and we finna talk some shit, man. Man, so first question, I'm gonna start off like, where'd you get the name Ray Nitti from?
So the name Ray Nitti came from, I really got it from Frank Nitti, who was, I think he was working with the Capone family back in the day. He was like, and when Capone, I think when he got arrested, like Frank Nitti came in and like helped keep things in order. So I just thought it was kind of cool for me to play off of that name. I just looked at it like, I felt like I was coming back to help get Milwaukee music scene in order type shit. So I like, fuck it, I'm gonna be Ray Nitti. So that's kind of how the name came about, man, and it just kind of stuck with me.
All right, question number 2, I'm gonna say, what made you like start rapping? What made you like actually be like, man, this is the shit I want to do?
Actually, what made me start rapping, man, to be honest, I started at a youth leadership program I was in called Urban Underground, and it didn't actually start as rapping. It started as poetry. So when I initially moved from the Virgin Islands to Milwaukee, like, I grew up like in some fucked up situations, abusive household, shit like that. So I was dealing with a lot of those emotions as a child, and I didn't necessarily know how to express those emotions. So you saw things like me lashing out at school and whatnot. But long story short, it was a workshop. It was a writing workshop that was led by Muhib and Kwabena, and Muhib did a poem called "The Children Are Crying," and to me, it was kind of speaking to my person, to me as a 16, 17-year-old person that was like, oh man, I started crying and shit in the damn joint. I wasn't the only one crying though. It was a bunch of other dudes in there was crying. But they kind of encouraged me to like, yo, whatever it is, like you don't gotta talk to us about it, but write it down. Like write it down, turn it into some poetry or whatever. And it started as poetry. And then what started as poetry evolved into like freestyle at Riverside, and then like doing battles and stuff in school, and then just really putting those poems to beats, man. And then as I grew, I saw that okay, I could really take this serious and earn revenue off of it. So that's kind of what made me start, man. Me trying to balance with my emotions as a teen.
Understandable. When you got to the point where you knew like rapping was what you wanted to do, like what artists influenced you the most?
Artists that influenced me the most.
I'm gonna say like industry artists. What industry artists influenced you the most?
Man, I would say it would have to be like Jay, man. Not to sound like cliche, but I just felt like he was from our era. And like, if you pay attention to Jay-Z music, he always shouted out St. Thomas a lot, where I'm from. So I felt like that shit, like man, you fucking with home. So it's like it was a personal like thing for me, like fucking with Jay. And then just seeing his growth in music and taking it from just music and using it as a platform to open up all of these new business doors, I think that's very inspirational. And another person that influences me a lot, I would say is Nipsey Hussle because of his business model as well, and like all money in, no money out. Just like if you listen to a lot of Nipsey music, he's like he rapping a lot of real shit, but he's also rapping about a lot of financial literacy shit, telling cats to get on that money, like invest your money, like stop investing in shit that don't bring no return. But we just get so caught up in the actual music and don't really catch the message, I feel. So those are the two, man, that I feel like, oh, you know what, Missy Elliott too. I rock with Missy a lot because just seeing what she was able to accomplish as a woman in the industry, just from the records she was producing, and yeah, you know what I'm saying, and coming from out of that crew with Tim and all of them, so like I got a lot of love for Missy as well.
Alright, man, seeing this is 7 questions in a session, man. I always tell my story is the best weed I ever smoked came from Lincoln, Nebraska. My cousin was messing with this chick and she called him like, man, come get this weed, I can't take it. We get there, she got literally, no exaggeration, a gold nug in a soda cap. Best weed I ever had in my life, still. And I was 19 then. Like, man, best weed ever. Where was the best weed you ever smoked?
Best I've ever indulged in? Man, that's kind of a tough question, bro.
It's always one you remember though, like.
Man, I would have to. It's gonna sound cliche, but California, like that's really the best that I've had because I felt like that was my first experience outside of like I'm about to go someplace else and indulge in the cannabis culture and it's legal type shit. So it was like I got to try so many different strains, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a creative, so what's locally available here is a lot of indica strains. So I prefer sativas. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want to be sleepy. Like I can like sure if I had like for anxiety I'll go to my indica strain, but I wanted to be in LA and feel creative, so I felt like LA was the first place that gave me that variety of strains that I was able to find my dosage, my usage that fit me and what I was looking for out of the plant.
Real shit. Alright. Seeing that you back in your mode, man, like what motivates you to keep dropping shit, man? Like to actually want to go in the studio and go through the process still.
Man, really, like, what motivates me right now, I'd have to say, man, is the city, to be honest, just to see, like, how far we've came from our music culture to where we at now and how receptive Milwaukee is to local talent. Like, that shit is beautiful. You feel what I'm saying?
It's way different from...
Yeah, bro, like... Bro, you could go to the club. You could go to the club right now and run an hour straight of all local music. You feel what? And the shit would be jamming. Like we had to like really trickle that shit in. You went from like, okay, you might have got Cuckoo Cal, then you might have got Cuckoo Cal and Drew, and then we had Genesis had Duck Walk. And Sincere was popping. The R&B lane was popping. You had Jersey Ave popping. You had BJ that was popping. Like, but the club scene, like, cats was. Then you had the wave of Rizzy, I'm Jackin' came, and Bow came, and a lot of these records. To see now, like, you just got so many artists. You can name 10, 15, 20 artists possibly that could have a record played and the people would be real receptive of it. So to see that now and to see the direction that the city is going in and the city that we're developing into, like that shit is inspiring, bro. And I want to be able to still create in that space and, you know, just be a part of the culture. So that's really what's motivating me, man. And shit, I wanna help a lot of other younger artists coming up now too. because I wish I had somebody that would have said, "Oh no, don't do this." You know what I'm saying? Do it this way, or like, I had to learn my mistakes on my own. So if I could save somebody some mistakes, man, that's what I'm interested in doing.
All right. So after what's 10 years now since Bow came out?
It's about to be 10, like 2019. It's gonna be 10.
Are you ready for that run again? I'm seeing you finna get back to pushing the song. Are you ready for that?
So when I say like I want to push it again, I really just want like a viral, like a viral moment to happen. Like somebody do some dance shit, or like the record just come back in that sense. I don't really see me like trying to gear up and shoot another video and I don't see all of that. I just I felt like Bow was legit maybe 2 years early before the viral wave and all of that. So, it wasn't Vine, it wasn't really Instagram, it wasn't none of these social media platforms that individuals use today to express themselves just by doing the dance. So I felt like, we just missed that wave. So I'm interested in recreating something that would catch that viral wave in today's culture. And them streamers be catching, fam. Them streamers is checks. Bow still catching a little something. So if we just catch a little little viral juice, go plat one time.
That'd be sweet.
Straight up, bro.
That'd be sweet.
I'm telling you.
What's next for Nitti, man?
Man, what's next for me is really using my platform to educate and encourage others to get involved, man, in things that are going on in the city, such as the weed referendum that's coming up. We got that coming up, voting. So, like, just being more vocal on stuff like that, reaching out to young individuals in the city. Y'all know the kids and what they facing every day here and how they interact with each other. So just, man, using my platform to be a light to somebody else, man, and I think I want to change the narrative. Like, my goal is to change the narrative that you have to leave Milwaukee to thrive off of your talents and skills. And I've traveled a lot of places, bro, and I've yet to see the talent that Milwaukee produced. And people feel like, we gotta leave because it's a lack of resources here. And like, that shit ain't true either, bro. It's a lot of resources here. It's just how the culture of the city, meaning the powers that be, how these resources are distributed amongst each other. It's a whole nother conversation, but man, I'm just inspired to help others, bro, and to grow and learn every day, bro. Like, that's positive energy only for me, fam.
All right, man. I know the show is 7 questions in a session, but seeing that we do got Nitti in here, I do want to ask a bonus question, man.
Okay.
Seeing that it is an election coming up in a little bit less than 2 weeks here in Milwaukee, like, what's your views on what's coming for the city, man?
Man, my views on what's coming to the city is I would just ask everybody to pay attention to how the city is developing. Look at the buildings that's going up. Look at the dollars that are being invested into redevelopment. Look at the things that are on the ballot. For instance, Wisconsin is now, we have an industrial hemp program. If you know anything about hemp, it's the male version of cannabis. And like, I want to encourage us to get involved in the hemp industry. One, because it's our brothers, it's our homies, it's our sisters, our Latino homies that get harassed the most when it come down to weed, get ticketed the most, get the largest prison sentences. So the referendum is on this ballot coming up, and you're not just voting for the legalization of weed, you know what I'm saying, the legalization of cannabis, you voting for, you know, possibly people coming home that had unfair sentencing. You voting for opportunity to get involved in an industry that is a multi-billion-dollar industry right now in other cities in this same country, which is crazy to me. How can we lock up people in Wisconsin at such an alarming rate, and California, Colorado, all of these other places are making billions of dollars and reinvesting millions of tax dollars into public education, into rebuilding the city infrastructures. And like, if it's so good, like, why we need to get out and vote for it, and we need to put the people in position that will pass these referendums. We know Scott Walker is not going to do it. So we need to support the Tony Evers and Mandela Barnes. Like, we need to, like,
definitely.
Like, we could talk about it as much as we want, but we gotta get the hell up. We gotta get up and go fucking do it.
We gotta vote, y'all, man. The election coming up November 6th, man. We need everybody out there.
We need everybody, man. Ain't nothing wrong with voting. I know people say they don't think it works and blah blah blah. Like, that shit sounds stupid.
We ain't voting for the president right now. We voting for our city.
It's like,
for our county.
And that's what affects us the most. That's what affects us the most. And I want everybody to really understand that the local politics is what affects us the most. Why you see our living conditions in our neighborhoods stay the same is because we don't participate in the voting process. We need to start doing that shit. And then at this time, we need to do it more so now than ever, because the city is changing, and it's going to change for the better with or without us. So we could decide to either be a part of it and just continue to be distracted and go about our everyday ways, our, you know, how Milwaukee get down there. You know how we be in the city, but we have an opportunity to really have stake. Milwaukee is a black and brown city.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
like majority wins, bro. Like, that's simple math to me, fam. But I ain't gonna be long-winded, man. I can talk about this shit.
Get out there and vote.
Vote. Tony Evers, Mandela Barnes, yes to the referendum. It's a whole lot of other things on there as well. Like,
gotta get Scott Walker out of here.
Gotta get him gone.
All right, man. Well, Nitti, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Appreciate you for having a session, man. 7 questions in a session. Subscribe to the channel. All your camera needs, holla at Orange County. OjDidIt. Yeah.